say that this might be a new concept, but every person's success, everyone's success, is the result of another person's generosity. No one, absolutely no one, is self-made. In saying this, a local children's health expert was reminding us that no child is born able to feed himself. No baby girl is born able to diaper herself. And no child is born able to dress themselves. They don't actually arrive with instructions. Surprise! And they don't choose the circumstances that they're born into. But every single child that arrives in this world should have the same chance for success. Not just survival, but for success. Because everyone's success is the result of someone else's generosity. Because no one is self-made. Each of these babies and children need us. So every person in this room, every one of you, has received the generosity of another. Someone changed your diaper. It's true. I hope. Someone taught you how to dress yourself and dressed you before you could. So despite your amazing talents and the fact that you could get your car out this morning and all the things you've accomplished, you are not self-made. Someone else's generosity got you where you were, even at 6 months old. So some of you might be thinking that this is just so obvious. Of course, people take care of one another. And you probably take care of the children and the parents and others in your life that need you. It's kind of a given, of course. But what would our world be like if it was just a given that we cared for all of those children? If we really recognized the importance of that generosity, what would it be like if it was just a given? You didn't have to think about it. I kind of like the things that are a no-brainer. Because we're really meant to support and care for one another, aren't we? And WestSide Baby does that. And we do that thanks to you. The 24,000 children that are captured on this map and that map. If you added all those numbers up together, you would know we served 24,000 children last year, and they're spread all over King County. But if you could see it really closely, you would see that most of those children are in South King County. And if you know anything about the poverty statistics in our county, you would know that in the greater Seattle area, there is huge poverty, particularly in North Seattle and in the central area of Seattle, where Rainier Valley and the Central District neighborhoods are. So we need to get there, and we just need to do some things to get there, because those kids, they are not self-made. They need us. So WestSide Baby is in our 14th year. And in 2001, Donna Pierce, who is here with us today, started our story. As what many of you know, because many of you were around all the way back then, Donna gave her heart and soul to WestSide Baby, and she volunteered for almost 5 years. And the story started in her garage, too. You and Joanne in the garage in the living room. She is a person who gave everything to WestSide Baby. And because of her generous spirit, I'm really excited to say that this year we are instituting the first ever Donna Pierce Service Award. This award is going to be given a little later in our program, and it's going to be a surprise to one of our guests who just has a lifetime of caring for others. And I think you'll all enjoy being a part of this surprise, because I think she might fall over, but I hope not. So WestSide Babies continue to thrive because of the generosity of those in King County, as well as those across the country. So as Joanne mentioned, the National Diaper Bank Network has supported our efforts, and just last year, they donated 1 million diapers to the children in King County. And another 1 million are coming this year, which is fantastic. So the really big surprise last year, though, was that they all showed up on one day. Was it really supposed to happen like that? But it did. And we were really lucky because even before that, we had a plan, and we partnered with our friends at WestSide Baby Corner. We decided to launch the first ever joint project with our two diaper banks. And we called it Side by Side Northwest. So I want to take a second, and I just want you to stand up for a second, EBC people. All of you stand up and let's say thank you. We are really thrilled that we were able to bring those diapers in and to get them out even farther across our county because we developed this partnership. So, what happened with WestSide Baby is that we jumped from giving out 540,000 diapers to 826,000 diapers. 53% more. Just last year. That's pretty amazing. So thanks to that, 5,000 babies were able to be put into their jammies at night without their parents worrying about whether they had a wet diaper. And those same families were able to go to work and take their kids to daycare. Because for those families' setbacks, like running out of diapers or not having a car seat for the car, they're part of their reality. And it's hard. Illnesses, they're frequent. And as Joanne mentioned, the full-time jobs, they don't bring in enough money to put food on your table and diaper your child. They really don't. This is true. And for those families, life is hard, and setbacks, they happen all the time. And every once in a while, I think I need the message to remind us what it feels like to get a setback. And this week, WestSide Baby nearly experienced such a setback. And it wasn't the snow this morning. That was not fun, but that's not it. There was a fire. And everything was turned out okay, so don't be too worried, but there was a fire. And smoke was billowing out of the building that was next to us. And if you've ever been to WestSide Baby, you would know that building is very close to ours. And I stood on the sidewalk and I feared the absolute worst. I feared that there would be an explosion because I know what's in the building next to us. And I feared that all the water and the smoke would really damage every item in our facility. Every single onesie, every pair of shoes, every diaper. And we stood on the sidewalk and we were scared. And we were scared because for us it would be a setback, but it would also mean that the children that we're serving would not get the things that they would need. So I want you to stop for a second and just check in with yourself. If you picture that for a minute, my heart is beating, it doesn't feel very good. I don't like to be scared. And I will tell you, when my colleague Sarah called 911 and was trying to explain to the firefighters that for a second they were at the wrong address, she was scared. And when everybody else was standing out on the back parking lot and watching all the fire and the smoke coming out, they were really, really scared. But like I said, it turned out okay. But we aren't self-made. We couldn't put out the fire. We couldn't deal with the aftermath of it all by ourselves. We had a safety net. The firefighters did what they were supposed to do. They put the fire out, and they looked at me and promised me that they would, and they did. And then afterwards, when we weren't sure what was really happening, the blog posted our issue, and immediately we started getting calls. How can we help? What can we do? What do you need? We have a safety net at WestSide Baby, and the families that we serve do not. When they have a setback, they don't have people calling immediately saying, what can we do to help? And we did. But it was a reminder of fear and how it feels for all of us. And a really great reminder that every single one of us needs to help with somebody else at some time. We exist to help. We are there. And thanks to the firefighters, we will be there for a really, really long time. And last year we announced a bold 3-year plan. Our plan was to reach all those neighborhoods where the numbers are only 3 digits that need us. And we were a little scared about diving into that. But we plan to do it. We're going to reach North Seattle, and we're going to reach Central Seattle, and we're going to make it happen. Because if you didn't know this, there are 10,000 children under the age of 2 living below the federal poverty line just in Seattle. I'm sorry, just in King County. If we were trying to give those kids about a quarter of the diapers that they really need, you'd never guess the number that they actually need. It's 22 million diapers. And when I told my husband that number, he said, oh, it just feels like so much. We can't do that. That's so much. You just got 1 million diapers. 22 million is too much. And I don't think it is. Look around. Do you think it is? I think we can do it. I think you can do it. You're all a part of it. I can't do it by myself because no one is self-made, but I can do it with you. And we can do it together. We can take care of all of those kids. Just for some perspective, 22 million diapers, the ones that we need, you'd have to put 328 diapers on every single seat at Seahawks Stadium. Every single seat. That's a lot of diapers. Clearly, we need to stretch. We need to do what we can do. And those diapers and clothes and car seats and everything else that we do, they need to reach farther into our county, and we can do it. We're going to make the growth happen, but we're going to need your help. And I want you to think about the success story that WestSide Baby has been and the success story that we can be. And as you think about that, I want to introduce the story of a very, very strong and inspiring woman who needed just a little help during a difficult time. A time that she and her family didn't exactly plan for, that didn't turn out exactly as they hoped at that moment. And as you listen to her story, I would really, really like you to think about whether you can be that someone else. Can you be the one? Because everyone's success is a part of someone else's generosity. Thank you.